Well, hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome into another daily reading. I do apologize in advance. I am extremely drained today due to the weekend, but beginning with some Sacred Destiny Oracle for our daily reading. What does this beautiful collective need to know? For this beautiful collective: inner peace, change, power, purification, and flow. I feel the sense of you thinking about how you're a bit over it. You may be pushed to stop and look at things very realistically, but then it feels like there's something about you remembering the past a bit too much. For this collective, I feel a lot of you are lingering in regards to what happened, maybe what didn't happen. And so they're saying, let go of the past, be where you are, and if need be, think forward very optimistically, because it feels like this is a time where your inner peace is needing to be priority number one, okay? We're needing to remember that the peace outside of us starts within, okay? And it feels like there's a lot of change that's about to happen outside of you, feeling like for a lot of you this has to do with work matters. It could be financial matters, connections playing into this. It might even be, honestly, for a select few, your home life. But I do feel the day pushes us each to say, if it isn't currently happening, then I'm not going to give it the time of day, for things are about to change dramatically once again, and that's of importance. Our inner peace is of importance. And so the day reminds us each to let it go, let it flow, my friend. Don't give it the weight, the power, the energy that, you could be avoiding otherwise. And so it feels like they're saying, throughout a day where a lot of you can relate to how I am feeling a bit drained, a bit tired, with what you do have to give, be selective, right? Be strategic. Don't go giving your heart and soul, okay, to just anybody. Don't go giving your minimal energy, or again, the energy you do have, to just anybody, or even again, the past. So they're saying, focus on what matters the most. You being high up there on the priority list, I feel like they're saying we're needing to each remember where our power lies, okay? So it's about, all right, I'm hearing self-activating within, and therefore empowering yourself, therefore, in a sense, for some, restarting, and allowing for this to be one of the major changes that continues to benefit you moving forward. But I want to say as well, a lot of you are thinking about a tower moment for the future. You're starting to think about how things are maybe working against you, or feeling unhealthy, feeling heavy. And so it's this feeling of spirit saying a lot of change does lie ahead, and you can adjust this with your thoughts, your beliefs, your expectations. And so they're wanting you to basically take a step back and ask yourself, what is actually working for you in, say, an area of your life or within a situation in your life that you can't seem to let something go in regards to, or it just seems quite heavy these days, or imperfect, unhealthy, if I didn't say it already. And so they're wanting you to maybe adjust your perspective in this sense by looking at the bigger picture. And maybe, I want to say for some, doing a better job at going with the flow and saying, I need to remember personally that I'm protected. And this is talking about you, okay? You're needing to remember, being drawn to this reading, that you're protected in regards to, say, a force outside of your control, right? Outside of your power. For a lot of you, it feels like somebody who was meant to be labeled as a friend. Okay, maybe I'm being shown an image of someone doing that. But it just feels like maybe one, if not multiple forces, again, outside of your control, are trying or actually working to your disadvantage. And so whatever this ends up being for you, we're protecting you. You don't need to worry. And in this case, we are encouraging you, advising you to not take a hands-on direct approach, in regards to whoever, whatever this ends up being for you, but rather trust in the fact that Spirit has your back and will take care of things. And I even feel like Spirit is wanting you to remember karma will work itself out. Justice will take place and come into play as it's meant to. And so I feel this collective has been doing the right thing. And so let that ring true. Let that pave the way for the right to take place, if that makes sense. I'm hearing the wrongdoings of the past, and in general should not take up any space at this time that could just, ruin or alter negatively the energy, the potential even of this current day period, okay? But purification says, again, it's giving me very much this, okay, let it grow, let it flow, but all the meanwhile, again, let it go, let it flow. And so I want to feel more like a sunflower. Okay, interesting message. For I feel this collective wants to feel brighter, healthier, wanting to feel less weighed down, less negatively affected. Maybe you're just wanting to feel more healed, more purified. And so I feel as well, it's a day where you're needing to more than ever remember or recognize, maybe in a different light, as to what is going to ultimately work for you moving forward. But what leaves you feeling more purified, what leaves you feeling healthier, lighter, again, less weighed down, what leaves you feeling like a purified, peaceful version of yourself. You're wanting to, okay, I'm hearing put your hands on more than you are meant to, more than you should be. And so I'm feeling, for many different reasons, this collective is going to be pushed to step back and, take the reins in a different way, from a different standpoint. But I wouldn't be surprised, as I'm seeing an image of the Hanged Man, if you need multiple adjustments in your perspective, okay? But to continue, the Moon card coming out, my friends, because I feel like you are standing at a very mysterious point along your path. You're wanting to better understand this and that you're not meant to. And so they're saying, just simply don't frustrate yourself. Where you're feeling this sort of overly serious energy taking a highlight, even feeling maybe outside of you, or at least part of which, we're needing you to recognize that you have control over how you feel, how you proceed. Let's just put it that way. And so we're wanting you to remember that you have control over whether you choose to actually react to somebody or something or not. And whether that comes up throughout this period directly, specifically or not, it's at the very least, for a lot of you, preparation for dealing with somebody or something in the near future, okay? For reacting is not going to benefit you. And your past has taught you this. And if need be, your past will remind you of this. But flow like you know is what I just heard. Flow like you know. It's this feeling of you knowing more than meets the eye, but then feeling once again like you're within this Moon card energy. But then they're saying this isn't all heavy, this isn't all negative, or, adjust your perspective. It's all very much working to your advantage and positive and purposeful. But it feels like they're saying that you're allowing for what you don't have full or any understanding, for that matter, in regards to keep you distant, away from, odd wordings. It feels like it's keeping you away from the awareness of what you do, or the remembrance of what you actually do know, what you do have clarity on. And so they're saying this feels to be more of a mystery within your life at this point than it actually is. Right? And so when it comes to what you believe, when it comes to what you focus on, when it comes to what you even revisit in a cycling kind of way, or apply in a cycling kind of way, it increases the weight of whatever ends up being. Does that make sense? And so this reminds you that you have such power and control over this amount of mystery, right? And that really reminds you of the control and power that lies within you for really anything, for that matter, okay? And so it's about doing what you know is going to, or learning what's going to work best for you moving forward, and remembering wholeheartedly, concretely, where your individual power and control lies. But I feel like a fish out of water throughout this day for some reason. And they're saying the best advice is just honor yourself by doing what feels right, what feels joyful, what feels peaceful and healing, purifying all the meanwhile, and let the rest flow outside of your control, okay? While benefiting you in many different ways. And so it just feels like Spirit's saying, okay, get up and go. Get up and do what feels right to you. Don't put off what maybe you have been putting off, or don't put off what you intuitively are feeling very strongly is going to benefit you, in so many different ways. But I feel a very emotional, even an emotionally connected kind of energy about your soul, about your energy at this period. And it's this feeling of you maybe kind of having still a lot to heal from, to purify. Again, the past seems to keep popping up, in the majority of the time it doesn't feel beneficial. But I want to say that it's like you're feeling things really deeply at this time, and then they're asking you, well, is it serving you to feel it that deeply in the moment? If the answer is partially or fully no, then you have control once again as to what you're focusing upon, what you're feeling. And they're saying just make that switch, right? I'm hearing make that switch up. Maybe it's about as well noticing when you're feeling this extreme emotional deepness in an unproductive way, and then asking yourself, well, where my control lies once again. What can I avoid and or do differently in order to feel better moving forward, right? To, in a sense, prevent this heaviness, this emotional baggage that we seem to be dealing with, feeling way too often recently. But then there's a sense of, if you look at the crown on the queen here, it's like in certain small ways, it's this period, and even I want to say Spirit, in their own ways, pushing you to feel rewarded, pushing you to feel like you have this crown on your head, to feel more, maybe alive, but more grounded within your throne. And so I feel respect and appreciation, compliments coming towards you. Now, when you feel that people are appreciating you, you feel like people are honoring you in their own way or two, eat it up, okay? Allow for that to sink in and stay there, maybe even grow like a sunflower within, okay? But as we wrap up this reading, it feels like this day is meant to help you feel like you're moving in the right direction, okay? While you still might feel like you're at a bit of a standstill, but I want to remind you that you are number one, okay? And so I feel ultimately the day pushes us each to push ourself, right? Prioritizing oneself, pushing yourself to the top of the priority list. But as I struggle a bit, I feel like you need to give yourself more credit, okay? You need to give yourself a pat on the back and a chance to heal, maybe several chances. For life is not easy, and it feels like we're needing to allow for and choose for this day to, as it progressively shifts on forward, to lighten things up, as life is not meant to be as heavy as it feels at times, and to be honest, as heavy as it feels at certain points throughout this day. Do take care, my friends.